Make your way to your mat and find your down dog. Press firmly into your fingers, so firmly that you can feel as though you can lift the palm of your hand up off the mat. As you inhale, rise high on your toes and roll out to your high plank. On your exhale, bend your knees, press your chest towards your thighs in your bear pose. Inhale, straighten the legs and roll out to your high plank. Exhale, push back to your bear pose, keep the knees lifted, and back to your down dog. Roll to your high plank, push back to your bear, to down dog. High plank, bear, down dog. So we're just rolling here in a down dog roll. Keep the belly button pulled in towards the spine. Make your way back to your down dog. Gently lower the elbows down to the mat. Lift and lower, lift and lower, lift. You can take one elbow and then the other here if that's easier for you. It's a good modification. Nice. Then we'll take the elbows down to the mat and stay here in your dolphin pose. Lift your right leg high and take it down. Lift the left leg, step it down, and the right leg, and the left, and the right one last time, and the left one last time. Come back to your dolphin pose. Walk your feet all the way back to a forearm plank. Turn your left forearm parallel to the front of your mat. Lift the right arm high. Forearm side plank. Come back to your forearm plank and take it on the other side. Right forearm comes parallel to the front of the mat. Lift the left arm high. Keep your hips lifted. Back to your forearm plank. Take the knees down. Sit back on your heels. Stretch your hands straight out in front. Take the forehead to the mat. Child's pose. Take a moment to rest the arms, to release through the shoulders. Thread your right arm underneath your body and let your forehead come back to the mat. Nice, slow, deep breaths here. Breathe in and out through the nose. And stretch your right arm out. Thread the left arm underneath and take it on the other side. And stretch your left hand straight out in front, back to your child's pose. Tuck your toes underneath and lift the tailbone up to your down dog. 3 more down dog rolls here. Remember, keep the belly button pulled into your spine. Make your way back to your down dog. Roll into a side plank. Lift your right arm high. If full side plank is too intense, you can always take your left knee down to the mat. On your exhale, swing your right hand underneath and inhale, lift up. We'll do 3 of these. Underneath and lift. We'll take the right hand down to the mat, back to your high plank. Push back to bear and straighten the legs to down dog. Rise high on your toes and come into side plank on the other side. Lift your left hand high. So this is what it'll look like if you keep the right knee down, if you modified. So same thing, 3 times. Take the left arm underneath and lift up. Underneath and lift up. So if you come into a full side plank here, if that's available to you, if not, the knee is fine. Come back to your high plank, push back to your bear pose, and back to your down dog. Nice. Come back to your side plank, lift the right arm high, and lift your right leg. So this is pretty challenging. We'll take that back to your bear pose and back to your down dog. So if that was too intense, you can do that with your knee on the ground. So I'll show you that on the other side. So lift your left arm high, the right knee comes down, lift the left leg. So again, if it's available to you, do this in your full side plank. If not, take the knee down. Push back to your bear pose, back to your down dog. Lift your right leg high, take your right knee to your right elbow, swing underneath to the left, back to the right, and up. Open the hip. And again, right elbow, back, and up. Open the hips. Last time, right elbow, right elbow, back, and open. Step the right foot down to the mat. And same thing on the other side. Open the hip. Left knee, left elbow, back, and up. Open the hip. Left knee, left elbow, right elbow, back, and up. Last time, left elbow, right elbow, back, and up. Step the left foot down. Take the knees down to the mat and push back to your child's pose. Slow, deep belly breaths here. Breathe in and out through the nose. Thread the right arm underneath, just as we did before. And take it on the other side. Stretch your left hand straight out in front. And roll up and all the way through to your cobra. Let the hips come down to the floor. Push back to your child's pose. Inhale, roll through your tabletop. The hips come down. Squeeze the shoulder blades together for cobra. And push back, child's pose. Inhale, float all the way forward to cobra. Exhale, push back. Lift the tailbone high, down dog. Step or hop between your hands to forward fold. Inhale, lift up through the belly, wave the spine out, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Roll all the way up. Inhale, reach for the ceiling. Exhale, take your hands behind you to interlace. Open your shoulders as you exhale, soften the knees and fold forward. Let the hands come down to the floor. Step or hop to your high plank. Push back to bear pose, to down dog. Look forward, take the knees down to the mat. Come to stand on your knees. Bring your hands to your low back. Roll your shoulders up, back, and down. Press your hips forward. Look up. Nice deep breaths here. Reach your shoulders, your spine, reach everything up and away from your pelvis. If you still have space here, you can turn your hands around, fingers point up. Take your gaze to the back of the room. So reaching up and out of the pelvis. If you have more space, take your hands to your thighs and gently pull. From here, if you're comfortable, you can take your hands down to your ankles or the floor. Keep your hips pressing forward to come up. Rise up both sides, same time. Sit back on your heels. Stretch your hands straight out in front. Take the forehead back to the mat.